There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With over 140 channels in your vehicle, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.
Happy morning, everybody, and welcome to the start of the week. It's almost end of summer. I can't believe I'm going to say that, but it is. It absolutely is. Hey, you're tuned into CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and on this lunchtime learning session, we're going to kick off the week, right? We're going into the world of motorcycle audio, and who better to talk about motorcycle audio than a brand that's so heavily vested into, making two-wheeled rides pop. And that is, of course, Rockford Fosgate. So if we're going to talk about Rockford Fosgate in Canada, we're going to have to invite those involved and responsible for distributing them here in Canada. And that, of course, is the distributor known as Automobility. So as on behalf of Automobility, I'm going to go ahead and welcome my first guest to today's show. His name is Steve Coulombe, and he's the product manager over at Automob. What's going on, Steve?
Good morning, Ben. Quite exciting news, right? So
it is super exciting news. When I saw you seeing this come by my timeline, I was like, oh my God, just when you think they're not going to take it up a notch, they figured out how to do exactly that, which is not only take it up a notch with one sub, they've taken up 2 notches because it's a 2 sub kit. What do you think about that, Steve?
Well, again, Rockford leading the way for motorcycle audio, taking a step forward. It's just the missing link to what the product had to offer before. That was the bass. So, in North America, everyone loves bass. So that was a great thing that was expected for quite a while now. So finally, it's on the way, almost ready to ship, and very excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rockford Fosgate obviously has been doing some purpose-built goodies for quite some time now. And, obviously we've had them on several occasions. We've talked about their side-by-side kits, and obviously Harley Davidson category is a big one for them. But, that category has just absolutely been on fire recently. We've spent time, we've had CMA Lives talk about motorcycle audio. Steve, you and I have talked about it. And the feedback from the dealers, like I just went to a car show this weekend in Moncton called the Atlantic Nationals, hooked up with one of your dealers, in fact, the name Audio Crew. And They just were blown away with the amount of motorcycle business coming their way. So myself, not being a Harley owner yet, I might not totally understand the whole thing. But apparently these guys just love souping up and making their rides pop.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, as you're a car enthusiast, you're, we're all in this industry enthusiasts, not by choice, because we're born with it. So as many speakers, woofers, amps, loud as you can be, it's everything related. If it's a boat, power sports, side-by-side motorcycle. I mean, I have speakers everywhere in my house. I don't know about you in the garage.
No. I mean, let's not get started. Let's not get started.
So exactly, just as a reference. So.
What's nice to see though, Steve, is a lot of times we see our American neighbors. They come up with these crazy trends, and not every trend makes its way up here, and some don't go as deep or as popular as we may have forecasted. I don't think this category is one of those. I think we are seeing right now the rise in the popularity, and I think it's a great time that a brand like Rockford comes out with product like that really inspires dealers, right? And the audience, which are the riders themselves. So, I tell you what, without further ado, we are privileged today to be connecting right to Tempe, Arizona. We're going to the studios here with Rockford Fosgate. We have two experts that are going to share with us all the details about this crazy new kit. Their name is Theresa and Eric, and we're going to go straight to Tempe and see if they can join us. Well, yes, they are. Hi, Theresa. Hi, Eric. What's going on?
Hey, Ben. How are you?
Good morning.
As you can tell, I'm pretty excited this Monday. I've spent all weekend thinking about this show today because I think it's pretty exciting news. I think it represents a lot of thrill, especially for those who are riding motorcycles.
There's no doubt about it. We actually just came home from Sturgis ourselves, so I can tell you there are a lot of very, very excited riders to have these subwoofers in their bags now.
I can only imagine. I mean, with Sturgis, with COVID now, it was a huge attendance as we saw, and you guys are there and you're showing some new product. Eric, what are some of the comments that you've had initially at the booth?
It's all in one kit. It's purpose built. It's just designed to work together seamlessly. And really the fit and finish and just the plug and play functionality, whether you have an installer do it or they do it themselves at home, if they're familiar with turning some wrenches, like it just works together seamlessly.
Very, very nice. And, honestly, not to toot your horn, but I would expect no less, because if you guys are going to come out with a kit like this, I know you're going to go through details that just will make people say, they took the time to think about that. Theresa, maybe you can bring us back a little bit to set the stage here. Automob obviously carries the entire Rockford Fosgate line, including motorcycle, of course. But why don't you back up a little bit about the conceptualization of this kit in particular, and its progress into becoming a reality?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have had this in development for a couple of years, and it was predicated on people trying to put 8-inch speakers in the lids of the bag because they want to get more bass, and the 6x9s just aren't enough. It's not a subwoofer. And so we tried a lot of iterations, everything from the typical cut a hole in the bag and use a ton of Bondo and fiberglass to reinforce it and try to get a good bass response out of that, to double sixes and Diapolito arrays and kind of everything in between. And what we really learned is that you have to have a subwoofer enclosure. A bag is not an enclosure. And so that's where we went into development with creating the actual enclosure to house the woofer. And then there are a lot of riders here at Rockford. And so all of the riders said, well, what if I want to take them out? A subwoofer is a commitment. And so that's where we came up with the idea of plug and play and removable subwoofers. So, bass when you want it, space when you need it. There you go.
So well thought out. And yeah, bass is important, of course, or else none of us would be here. But at the same time, life kicks in, right? And like, I need space. So that is a total relevant train of thought and philosophy when it comes to the design. Eric, I want to probe you a little bit when it comes to being pioneers in the category, because I'm going to say I believe Rockford to be a pioneer in this category for accessories and aftermarket sound upgrades to Harley Davidsons. Did you ever think it would get to this point where we're doing this type of radical stuff? For me, this is radical. I mean, it's a motorcycle at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, the brand has grown exponentially in this marketplace. Motorcycle audio has really taken off. I mean, now it's not just a matter of taking a Sunday cruise, with your friends, your significant other. It's a matter of hanging out with your friends and really enjoying yourself, really having a great time. And a lot of that was stemmed by, I can't really hear my music. Yeah. And, I've been locked down with COVID, and now I can go out, 1 or 2 days a week, or, to get some fresh air. And a lot of the riders are like, I can't hear my audio. I really want something where I can just go out on the open road and be able to hear everything perfectly. So that's why the exponential growth has just taken the motorcycle category off the charts.
Absolutely. I mean, and you preach it all the time. I know Steve and I talk about it a lot, and dealers definitely feel it when you say the words purpose built. These are two words that are very important to Rockford in your culture, right? In your brand messaging. Theresa, when it comes to purpose built, maybe we can go through a couple of things that make this kit more purpose built than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess let's just start with the fact that we're using components that are all element ready. So everything here can withstand water, dirt, dust, sun, whatever the weather is going to throw at it. We were also very cautious to make sure that it could withstand vibration, because vibration on a motorcycle is just a fact of life. And so when Eric removes this and you get a closer look at it, you'll see that we have literally coated all of the edges in foam or rubber so that it perfectly snugs into the bag. We also looked at had thoughts about the connectors. So everything is Deutsch connectors, which is what they use in marine audio. They're also easy to use and quick disconnect. We thought about lifestyle too. Most folks that own bagger motorcycles, they're going to take their bags on and off fairly often. You do that almost every time you clean the bike. And so we did a lot of quick disconnect connections that allow the subwoofers to easily come out and then the bag to easily come off the bike. So that's just a few of the key pieces. I don't want to steal all of the thunder because I know Eric has some really cool stuff to talk about too.
The main premise is we're not repurposing really anything on this. This was very, very specifically designed and engineered for motorcycle audio specific.
A couple of things right out of the gate, if I may. First of all, how perfect that fits. I seen in the video when the gentleman slides it in and out. Obviously, this is molded to perfection to fit, the exact tolerance. Am I to understand that those bags for those, for these applications, maybe we should get this out of the way. What is the application of this kit?
Specifically, it is 2014 and newer.
Okay.
Harley Davidson motorcycles, Road Glide, Street Glide, Ultra, Limiteds, with standard bags. And that is typically what will come on the bike. These are not designed to work with stretched bags or fiberglass bags or anyone's aftermarket bags. So standard bags that came on a Street Glide or Road Glide.
The factory bag is what this is spec to.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
I think that's important for us to just get out there right now. If you're curious, if you guys watching this either live or on demand, that is the specification. And because to my comment circling back, I mean, it looks like it just fits absolutely perfectly. And I love the fact that you've taken attention to all the contact points to make sure there's no rattling, there's no vibrations, like you had mentioned, with the right materials. Now, I'm just going to fire off a few questions because I'm bursting at the seams of just what I see here. I noticed that the mold on the top here fits the basket of that 6x9, which goes on the lid.
Yep.
I'm guessing that was, again, purpose built.
Exactly. The whole concept is, if you're going to have Rockford Fosgate subs in your bike, you clearly are going to have our 6x9s in the bag lid. And so we designed it to where the basket cover for that 6x9 is going to nestle right in here. So again, no vibration, everything fits perfectly, and also creates a nice seal inside the bag as well.
And I see there's already a channel piped out for the connector and where the wire goes. I see that for sure. Yeah, that's also being thought of as well. Eric, if I can ask you a question before we start disassembling and looking at particular parts, what is the material that we're dealing with? Is this something that is is meant for, that's dampened? Do I still need to do any type of aftermarket sound damping in the lid, or what do you recommend?
Well, it's rotomolded HDPE, so it's high density polyethylene. And it's rotomolded so that you don't have any seams during the manufacturing process. And with that much vibration on a motorcycle, any sort of seam could cause cracks. So it's completely seamless. As Theresa mentioned earlier, there are dampers all around the enclosure. So there's actually pads. You may not be able to see so well on camera, but there are pads everywhere around. So if there was any sort of vibration, it will help dampen that. And of course, since you're relying on the enclosure itself for the air pressure, you're not relying on the seal of the bag lid itself, and you're keeping that airspace isolated from your high frequency drivers. So yeah, all the business is happening right here in the enclosure. Super durable. The high density polyethylene definitely makes it robust and not flex.
There's a lot I like about that, because I'm going to assume that the driver that you're using, and to be clear, that is a 10-inch driver or a 12-inch driver?
This is a 10-inch.
It's a 10-inch, so dual 10s. And that driver, I'm going to guess, because I know how you guys operate, is specifically tuned for this purpose. Also going to be element ready. And all the guesswork and mathematics have been taken out because you've already figured out the enclosure volume and all that type of stuff. That is a ported enclosure, I assume?
This is actually a sealed enclosure.
Oh, it's a sealed enclosure. Okay.
Yeah, so we're getting as much base response as we can out of the sealed enclosure. And obviously, when you're, you don't have to worry about when you're adding things or removing things that you're changing the actual tuning of the enclosure. Since this is
exactly
a self-contained unit, you're always going to get consistent base response.
That's really good from a shop point of view. It's going to be repeat, right? Rinse and repeat. You know exactly what you're going to get, and it's repeatable. So that's really nice. All right. Eric, I don't know if you want to go a little bit deeper. I'm sure you do, because it seems like there's a lot of features that we got to get this information out to do. But before that, Steve, did you have any questions before we continue?
Not as of now. I don't.
Okay. I know you're excited to see the little details as well. Because,
yes, correct.
All right, let's get into it.
Installation details, yes.
Yeah, so the amplifier that's included is an IPX6 rated 800 watt amplifier. And it comes in with a little carrier, and I've got my little spotlight here so you can see how it's mounted on the back side. So the amplifier actually just slides down in this carrier, the cover goes on, and then it slides down and it attaches to the back of the saddlebag. And of course, everything is included with the kit. We could probably jump over to our camera and show the actual products that are included. So this is the cutout template. So as you attach this to the subwoofer, there's pre-guided drilling and cutting template hole. And so this is for the 6x9 transfer. This is for the actual subwoofer cutout itself. And then this is the subwoofer grill that would be on the outside of the bag. And when you did want to take that off, here is a cover, and then you can plug that closed, so that way you don't get any ingress of water into the bag itself. And then here's some of these proprietary connectors. So this is a custom molded connector that carries all the bulkhead data in and out of the subwoofer bag itself. And of course, there's that Deutsch connector that Theresa was talking about. There's waterproof seals on this, so that way it protects the entire system from the element. So it's all completely protected.
I have to say, first of all, that's super cool design that you thought about the fact that if you change back to baggage mode, let's call it, you take out the sub, now you have nice, clean, finished and I'm going to guess sealed as well, plate that covers the hole. Otherwise, you're getting great bass. I'm just trying to understand the orientation of that. Which way is that firing out? I guess that's firing outwards, not inwards, right?
Firing toward the tire itself.
Yeah, so the plate, the cutout is right here. I know the black on black is hard to see, but this this grill is right here.
Okay, got it.
So the sub goes in and it's firing out.
Right there.
And so that's what Eric was showing. If you want to remove this because you want to put, bags or jackets or whatever you need in there, then that's where this cover comes in. This is mounted here. The cover goes on the inside of the bag and seals this shut.
There's a gasket around that, so that way it's watertight.
Very nifty. That's a nice feature to show a customer too.
Yeah,
absolutely. My first question is, does this system work with one sub if I decide to only use one bag for storage?
It does, yeah. So that was one of the biggest questions we got at Sturgis is, okay, I love it that it's 2 subwoofers, but what if I need one bag, right? For jacket, for lunch, for whatever else I want to take with me because I'm going on an all-day trip. Yes, so you can quickly disconnect using that one connector that Eric just showed. This plugs right into the back of this enclosure. So you simply unplug it. It has a handle right here. You lift the enclosure right out, and then you dump whatever you want in. So the beauty of the way the system is designed is it's a 4-channel amp. So we're bridged front, bridged rear. So whenever you remove one sub, you're just using half the amp.
That's amazing. I mean, that's super practical. Again, very well thought out. The other question I had based on what you just showed me there, the amplifier, how can you explain to our listeners how that is? I mean, does it require the existing package for the powered speakers up front to be able to connect this, or can I just put the subs onto my factory system? Like, what are the scenarios here?
So that's a great question. So this actually matches perfectly with the existing Rockford Fosgate TMS audio system. So if you already have a front audio system on your Road Glide, Street Glide, or Ultra, you can add the subwoofer. And there's a Y connector that comes with the front audio kit. And we just Y that audio to pipe it into the secondary subwoofer amplifier for the bags.
Very, very, very cool. All right, Steve, now you must have questions.
Well, I was wondering, Eric answered one, but how long does it take, or how easy is it to install to an existing system? Like a previous example, if a customer had a previous kit installed, a stage 1, 2, or 3.
Yep. So if a customer has either our original HD14T kit,
okay,
or they have the current stage 2 or stage 3 audio system, it takes about 2.5 hours to install the subwoofer kit in addition to what they already have in the front. Essentially, because you have to get the harness to that Y that's in the front fairing, you do have to still remove the front fairing of the bike so that you can tie into that. And then you're also removing the tank, the seat, in order to get the harness routed properly.
If your installer had already installed the front audio kit and installed that Y adapter, you're not doing any reconfiguring on the front audio system at all. You're literally just going to take this and plug it into the front audio system.
Got it.
If you're going to do, Steve, the entire bike, so you have someone that comes in, they have no audio on it yet, then it's about 2 hours for the front audio system and about 2 for the back. So we say 4 hours total if you have to do everything.
And on that note, when you say everything, included in all these kits, all the wiring, everything is included. There's no extra hardware that needs to be purchased or ordered?
Correct. So everything is included in the kit. That includes the templates, the seals, the gaskets, the subwoofer enclosure vent, and all the wiring and hardware. Of course, you get the 2 enclosures and the amplifier carrier. So it's a complete system. When you buy that package, you are ready to go. Ready to go.
There's nothing else to order or anything of that nature. Very nice. I know we have a video on file. I think it's a good time to play because we talked about a little bit of the special features. Why don't we go to the video so we can watch it, learn it, come back, and I'll probably have some more questions for you. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right.
When you want that next level audio performance on your 2014 and newer Harley Davidson motorcycle, our all new 2014 Plus subwoofer kits reinvent the ride. Designed and engineered for easy integration and superior flexibility, these 800-watt dual 10-inch subwoofer motorcycle kits are built for true motorcycle on-road performance. The plug-and-play design paired with our freeway speed output all create the best-in-class on-bike bass experience. This entire system is designed to work with your current Rockford Fosgate TMS motorcycle audio systems. So let's get into this subwoofer kit. It's comprised of our 10-inch M1 element-ready subwoofers, an 800-watt M5 amplifier, enclosures, wiring kit, cutting templates, and an amplifier mounting plate. Everything is included in this kit to ensure an easy installation. First, let's take a look at the 10-inch woofers. These subs deliver a clear, accurate, and loud bass. They feature an element-ready design that are built to stand up to the outdoor environment. Housing the subwoofers are these purpose-built enclosures that fit perfectly into your factory saddlebags. Powering both the subs is our 800-watt 4-channel M5 element-ready amplifier. The amplifier features the next level of element-ready design that's built as rugged as the outdoor environment. With its play-all-day performance, it's engineered to endure those long touring rides when your soundtrack just won't stop. The included wiring kit ensures all the correct connections are made, and the cutting templates are also provided for an error-proof install.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about who that gentleman was, Theresa.
Yeah, so that's Greg Schlegel. Greg is a member of our sales team here at Rockford. And so Greg focuses on our motorcycle dealerships, side-by-side dealerships, and he's also the star of many of our installation videos.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of videos with him, and he seems very passionate, too, about the category.
He is. He has been a Harley rider for a long, long time. And so he's one of the folks here that has been instrumental in helping to design these products, helping to road test them. We laugh because if anything can be broken, Greg can break it. And so
that's what you want, though. You need somebody like that, right? To put everything to the test.
Yeah.
Absolutely cool.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to, you mentioned you just got back from Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
So when people come up to you, and obviously they hear it, I'm sure they hear it from a mile away, and they're there and they're asking, do you have, how loud are we talking about? I mean, I don't have any reference because I've never heard a sub on a bike. I've heard 6x9s, but I've never heard a sub. So how can you explain that to customers or dealers that are curious? So what type of sound we're talking about?
The most important thing is you have to let them hear it. At Sturgis, what we did for a demo is we had multiple bikes, road glide, street glide, because people like to identify with the specific thing they ride. And so we had it set up to where we would turn the system on, and it turned the front audio system on and the 6x9s. And we would turn it up and they would be like, yeah, that's awesome. It sounds great. I love it. I think I need to have that on my bike. And that's where you'd say, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
And you hit the accessory button. So we wired the rear subsystem to the accessory button. And so you hit the button and 100% of the time, a giant smile spread across the person's face that's listening to it. And they're just like, I've never heard anything like that on a bike. And so I would encourage every dealer that has the ability to have a demo in their store, have a demo bike. Even if it's one that you own and you just ride it into the shop every day so that you could take people out to the parking lot and let them hear it. But that's key. For those folks that just don't have the ability to put it on a bike and let people hear it, the best thing that they can say is, imagine that you're at a concert and all you hear are vocals and guitars. What's missing, right? It's missing the bass. It's missing the drum section. That's what's missing. It's the same way on a motorcycle. It just rounds out the sound so that you hear it the way the artist intended it.
My goodness. I'm trying to picture it, and I applaud you for applying the very scientific smile test. I'm
You know what?
sure.
Smiles sell. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Man, we're in a business of fun, right?
Yep.
Nobody needs anything that we're selling, right? But when you can connect dots from emotion to value, it just becomes, all of a sudden it becomes a personal need. Like, I personally need this in my life. And I'm really hoping that, I'm thinking that you might have to come out with different levels. And we'll talk about this in a bit, but just my brain's kind of going a million miles a minute, because I think this is a little bit of what I call a game changer, right? You're taking something that's obviously been a very popular category and just taking to that next level of where you could go, with your expertise on the products, on the acoustics, and the, development and all that type of stuff. Because let's be honest, that form molded enclosure, that not just anybody could come up with that. There's a lot of know-how and tooling, or I don't know all the specifics. I just know that's not something simple to do. That's for sure. And so I do want to commend you guys on that one. On that note, we're talking the application that you had mentioned earlier, which is the 2014 and newer. Is this something that we can expect, based on what I've already seen as feedback, to extend past that for applications?
You want to take that one?
That's you.
I don't want to speak out of school, because obviously we're always working on a lot of things. But if you consider that we offer front audio kits for 2014 and newer, we also offer them for 98 to 13 bikes. It would make sense that we would make sure that those 98 to 13 motorcycles had complete audio solutions as well. So I would look for lots of things to come out in the future.
I'm wondering why you just don't include the bag. I'm just saying, if you came up with a mounting kit, if you can make that, you can make the bag. And it just comes with I'm just throwing it out there, because that bag could then add to many different applications. But hey, who knows? I'm not the engineer. But I definitely see where it's going. And I think a lot of bikers, are going to rejoice once this news starts spreading out. I know it's already causing a lot of buzz, but once people start seeing them on bikes and hearing them when, they go roll up to their local place, hang out, and so on and so forth. And I think everybody's ever been on the show that talks about the motorcycle category. And that is, it's all about word of mouth, right? When that bike rolls up next to you and you hear it, your curiosity will absolutely sway you to go take a look and ask the question, what am I listening to? Right? Is that what you've experienced as well, Theresa, at these shows?
Yeah, that's pretty much right on the nail on the head. We've had a lot of guys that came in because their buddy saw us, got the audio kit, got the subwoofer kit, went back to wherever they were staying that evening and is showing it to everyone. And now he's just brought 3 friends in.
Exactly.
They all have to have it. So word of mouth is huge in this. If our dealers can find a couple of folks to add this system to their bikes, all they need is for that guy or that lady to go to a bike night, go on a community ride, whatever, game over. You're going to have them all in your store.
100%.
So, yeah,
that's
big.
Yeah, this is a great segue, because once in a while we like to do this. I went ahead and took a look at the Automobility dealer list, and I managed to connect with one dealer that is very passionate about motorcycle audio upgrades, and I got him on the show today. So he's going to be joining us. They represent a very big chain out west called Andre's Electronics. This particular shop is their Kelowna location, and their manager there, his name is Jason Stearns, and I'd like to welcome him to CMA Connected. What's going on, Jay? Let's just turn off get your microphone off mute, and we'll be good to go. And Steve is having some Hey, how's it going, Jay? Steve's having some technical. I'll wait for him to get that set up. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, how's everything going in Kelowna?
Oh, it's good. I'm busy as always. It's never anything in the summertime around here. So, yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah, it's a very, very popular area, especially for tourism in the summer, I can imagine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so here's the question for you. Well, before anything, I mentioned where you are, the shop. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your store and what you guys specialize in, how long you've been there?
Well, I've been here for about 16, 17 years now, just working strictly out of the Kelowna store. We have pretty good size shop, 3 or 4 techs at all times. We do a lot of power sports, a lot of marine audio in the summertime because we are the vacation spot for BC, and Albertans come here as well. So we do a very good share of marine power sports. Harleys, of course. We do a ton of Harleys. People are always riding around here. We have a great community for the power sports around here too.
All right. So this is you're no stranger to the non-traditional categories of car audio at all.
Yeah, we've always dabbled in a little bit of other stuff other than just strictly car audio, and it's fun. It's something a little different.
Because no joke, you guys are also known for hardcore car audio as well. I mean, the amount of builds I see come under your establishment is outstanding.
Yeah, we've always done lots of really cool car audio stuff. We've had cars that went and competed at World Finals. We used to put on our own sound off events. Car audio is a huge thing for us, and we got it pretty nailed down. The power sports and everything else is just the next step.
All right. So let's hear a little bit about your relationship with Rockford Fosgate as a product. Like, do you have a lot of experience with this brand when it comes to the category of motorcycle?
Yeah, ever since they came out, I've been trying to do Harleys well for a long, long time. I've tried every possible situation, every type of speaker. I've put on one guy's bike, I put 10 pairs of speakers on just to try it. I unfortunately do not ride Harleys, so I have to take people's word for it. As soon as we put the Rockford stuff in, it just blew everybody away. It's the only we put in bikes now. There's nothing better we can find.
I'm going to have to poke at Theresa and Eric. When you hear comments like that from a dealer, this is not a paid advertisement. He didn't get an envelope under the table. This is just like a random testimonial here. That's what you want to hear, right?
Yeah, that's what gives you the chills, right? Because that's why we do this. We try to give you the best product and, all of the parts and pieces to go along with it. So thank you, Jay, for saying that.
And that's actually a really great point, that we listen to a lot of dealers and installers' feedback. And that's actually when we beta test, sometimes we will have those installers give us feedback on them. And then that way it helps us make, improvements here and there. And then when the whole thing comes together, it's just really outstanding.
This is where I love to play devil's advocate a little bit. You just heard Theresa and Eric say that everything comes in the kit. There's nothing else that you need. I'd like to hear from a shop perspective, from your experience. Does that hold true when it comes to installing these kits?
It's absolutely true. Every time they come up with new stuff. So, there's a couple little Harley things that you might not have thought about the CBOs of, but now they have everything. It comes in the box. There's extra parts in the box. There's nothing missing. The person that the weekend warrior technically could just take their bike apart, put it all in themselves, and even the tuning process is just laid out perfectly. If you go by their tuning process, you'll never have a warranty issue. It just works. It's quite amazing how well and easy it is when you're cutting the saddlebags out. Everything is there. It's just perfectly laid out that you could be your first one, and anybody could do it, right? It's pretty nice.
And that repeatability, I think, is what keeps businesses like you healthy. That you know what you're promising your customer, you know what you're getting, and you're going to get the performance and the delivery of that performance every single time. To Theresa and Eric's point earlier, my question to you is, as a brand in the category, when motorcycle guys or girls come into the shop, do you ever find them asking for any specific brand, or is this something new to them and that you are teaching them? Like, what's the situation at the retail side?
Well, Rockford definitely has a very good exposure now. People are seeing it online. People are seeing that name out there. They're hearing about it. It used to be just, the brands that Harley sold, and they were just random speakers somebody decided to make that kind of fit into a Harley. They really didn't do a good job. So now that they have a good exposure out there, we have a ton of bikes in Kelowna, and people just come in asking to see Rockford. I actually weirdly enough put it on our sign out front saying Rockford Harley kits, and that week we had about 10 people just rolling in because they didn't know we carried the Rockford Harley kits. As soon as they saw it, they just rolled in and started ordering stuff. So it's really good.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty heavy duty. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about what we learned today about this new twin subwoofer kit to go onto these bags. I'd like to hear your first impressions of what you've seen today.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I've been thinking about ways to put subwoofers on the bikes for years. I've seen people try and do it, and it doesn't work out. And I always hope people, it's going to sound great in the parking lot. It's probably not going to sound very good on out there, just fiberglass stuff into it. With Rockford, I'm super excited to try it. I know it's going to work because everything I've ever tried that they've done always works. And like they said before, they're just building stuff for a bike. They're building stuff for their own bikes. So if they're building stuff for their own bikes, they're more passionate. They're going to figure it out, and they're going to try tons of options. They're just go, okay, it just works a little bit. They're going to make sure it's perfect because they want it in their own bikes. That's why I tell all my customers that these are just the people just building stuff for the sake of building it. They're building it for their own toys, whether it's side-by-side or Harley stuff. You guys are building it for your stuff, and it's great to see.
That's amazing. Now, I've tried to do my best to ask the questions that I thought dealers would want to know during their presentation. Did you have anything extra you could ask that you wanted to ask Theresa or Eric with regards to specs or anything you've seen so far with this kit?
No, it's just with the launch of those new weatherproof amps, that's kind of where you go from putting stuff in weatherproof areas. Now, you guys have just nailed it with this piece. Like I said, I can't wait to try one out. Everything in the Rockford kits are always laid out so nicely, especially with the new plugs going in there. It was always just, how do you get wires into a saddlebag and keep it weatherproof? Well, you guys just solved it right there. So, no, I'm just really excited to see and try one out for sure.
Well, Theresa and Eric, these are a lot of flowers being thrown your way. And did you have any questions for Jason that you might want to take advantage of this opportunity?
Really just one request, if we could. I know that Steve has these on order. We have them on the way to him. So when you do your first motorcycle, would you just drop us a line and give us your thoughts? Maybe send us a picture of the bike.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 or 3 people lined up that really want to get it done. So it's
really
getting to be
already
really good riding season around here. It's cooling off a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a couple of guys that really like to give them a shot. Absolutely.
I know Steve's trying to get reconnected, but we know in our pre-meeting he did mention there were some kits already inbound, so I would just connect with them and make sure that there's some reserved under your name. I'm just going to go up Automobility is who you want to discuss this with. If you're watching this either live or on demand, make sure you get a hold of the folks at Automob if you're interested in anything Rockford, not only the bike kits, of course, they do marine and they do car audio and so on and so forth. But Jay, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. Did you have anybody you want to shout out to, or any last message you have for our listeners before I let you go?
No, just if you need anything else in the Kelowna area, just come out and see me and I'll take care of you. But yeah, like I said, I can't praise the Rockford stuff enough. We started bringing it up, probably about 12 years ago because of the marine product. And
wow,
it's been
12 years you've been a Rockford dealer?
Yeah, since the newer style marine stuff is one of the main reasons. Just I'm glad we did, because the power sports area has blown up so much that they just keep on hitting every little spot that we need. So it's really nice.
That's amazing. Want to tell everybody who's watching, you want to look out for Jay's going to be joining us for one of the roundtables coming up in our training event, the fall workshops in September, and we'll get a chance to talk with Jay one more time over there. But for the meantime, please keep us in touch and tag us, CMA, when you do that kit, not only and Rockford, of course, as well. And we'd love to see what that looks like. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
take care, Jay.
Yeah.
We got Steve back with us. Steve,
I'm sorry. So sorry.
That's okay.
Technical issues. Pleasure of the live streams, right?
This is live, sir. So I wanted you to touch base on what Theresa was just saying about inventory. Jay was obviously, he just said there's 3 customers he actually has waiting for this. What is the situation on inventory?
Right now, yes, it has been a quite busy season. So inventory is a bit short. I'll be honest, it's a bit short right now. It's going to trickle in. We have some subwoofer kits on the way. Should be enough to fulfill the current orders, and more on the way afterwards. As far as the regular kits, parts are trickling in. So as soon as they come in, we build kits, fulfill orders. We're on the ball with it. It's a special year.
It's a record year though for everybody. It's amazing.
Correct, and it's the joys of the COVID situation, unfortunately. But
yeah. But that must make everybody on this, I mean, Theresa, Eric, Steve, you hear Jay say there's customers coming in asking for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a testament to the brand, isn't it? Theresa, I'll leave you with that question.
It is. And you know what, Ben, those are the things that warm my heart, to hear our dealers say that, they love the product, it works, we do everything they need, and then that they have customers coming in and asking for it. We spend so much time here trying to build our community, not just in North America, but global community. And Eric is instrumental in a lot of our social media. We have a team that every single day, the point is, how do we connect with customers? How do we connect with them on their level with all of their hobbies, whether it's motorcycles, side-by-side boats, cars. And so to hear Jay say that people are coming in asking for Rockford, it just tells me that our efforts are paying off. And that's a great thing.
Yeah, and where we make the connection is, anytime a customer posts on any of our social media channels, we always reply. And a lot of times they're shocked. It's like, well, you guys are actually listening and replying. And that's where we make a lot of those connections, is because it just takes a simple message or a simple note or a simple comment on one of our photos. And, myself, John, one of our other social media specialists, like, we reach out to them and we talk to them and see what they're interested in, and if there's something that we have a solution for what they need.
Yeah, and I was very, very happy when Automobility really fired up all of their social media as well, because now they are just a further extension of the Rockford Fosgate brand directly in Canada. And so we're building that network even more.
So
Rockford, I was just going to say, to mention that, Rockford already does such a great job corporately, internationally. But recently, Steve, you guys have also launched in Rockford Fosgate Canada social media. So whether that's on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you look for the tags. It's at Rockford Fosgate Canada. If you're a dealer watching this, just tag both Rockford Fosgate Canada and the US. It's going to get out there. There's people on that to share all that good news. On that note, I'm going to leave a last word for Theresa. I'll start with you, and then I'll go to Eric. What message do you have for dealers who might be tuning into this, who may be not a Rockford dealer right now, but you're coming out with these great products? What message do you have for them?
I guess I would just want all of them to know that what Rockford Fosgate wants to do is deliver the type of audio that customers are asking for. And we trust our dealers. We spend a lot of resources and effort in providing support and services to our dealers. I think that if they don't carry Rockford Fosgate today, they should consider it, because we're a brand that delivers quality products and that they can, make really good profit on. So
that's all check, especially for dealers, right?
Love to have them in the family.
So I was nice to Theresa, but I'm not going to be so nice to you, Eric.
Uh-oh.
Can you give me a nugget, a morsel? I know you guys are launching product not on traditional schedules anymore. So can you give me some sneak peeks, something of what the next product launch may look like?
I typically have to defer, but yes, Sandsport Super Show. We will be on site in California, and we will be launching a new product line that has been two new products. That's right. So two different products, and of course this is Sandsport Super Show. So that is a motorsports type product for UTVs. So if you're out on the sand dunes or in the forest trails, this is definitely two products that you will be interested in.
Very nice. See, I got something. I feel like my mission is accomplished. All right. Well, you make sure you connect with us so we share all that good news when it happens, and hopefully we'll get you guys back on sooner rather than later. We'll talk to the boss, Steve, and make sure we make that happen. All right. Theresa, Eric, thank you so much for your time and the effort you put into today's presentation. Congratulations on the launch of the new product, and certainly we look forward to having you guys on again.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Steve.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Steve. Exciting. And I hear there's inventory coming in, and I can't believe that after all this today, and hearing Jason's story about how, people are actually coming in and asking for this, dealers need to pay attention to these trends that are happening. Wouldn't you agree? Because I don't think every dealer gets just how much of a wave, marine, power sports, motorcycle is happening right now.
Yeah, no pun intended. There's a wave. People
no
need
pun
to
intended.
catch it. And no, you're right. Listen, everything non-car audio right now is blowing through the roof. I mean, as far as motorcycles, marine, everything else. So yes, and we make all the efforts that we can to have inventory. Of course, special times. There's always extra surprises in 2021. So
we'll see. But I know you're doing a good job planning as much as you can.
Oh, listen, we're already forecasting a year ahead now, so it's quite a challenge. But you know what? We'll be ready, like we were this year. You know, we don't have a crystal ball; no one has one. But you know what? We're putting the efforts in, the work, and no, it's going to be another great 2022 year next year.
Awesome. So. Well, congratulations on the new launch with the new product. I'm just going to review everything we learned today. So brand new kit from Rockford, twin 10-inch subs, drop in with everything you need, the amplifier, the wiring, the whole 9 yards. They thought of everything. Check that out. They got a new release coming up in the next show. Hopefully we'll get some news about that. And that's going to go in the off-road category from what I understand. New social media for Rockford in Canada. Check it out at Rockford Fosgate Canada.
Yep.
That's both on Facebook as well as on Instagram. And if you are interested in some product because, and you're not a dealer yet, I'm going to put up the numbers one more time. You know, make sure you get a hold of Steve and his team at Automobility. You can message them on their social media. You can call them. You can, email. So many different ways to get a hold of them. Somebody will get back to you if you're a dealer looking to get involved. Steve, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks,
I know
Ben,
you had a couple technical bugs, but we got you on. We're good.
I'm back. So yeah, I was back for the end portion. So yeah, we'll get that fixed for next one for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, Steve.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Later, Ben. Bye-bye.
All right, there you have it, guys. Twin sub kit from Rockford. Hope you guys enjoyed that lunchtime learning session. Shout out to Theresa and Eric for taking the time to join us. And of course, Jason Stearns, our man from Kelowna Andres, who also took the time this morning to join us and share some testimonial with us. On that note, I want to remind you guys, we just launched and announced our big training event going down September 13th to 19th. It's called Fall Workshops. It's not like the videos and stuff we've done before. It's really going to be focused for two reasons. Number one, each day is a separate theme, so you can tune into the ones that count or matter the most to you. And we'll have all the great brands for each category. And we've really worked with these manufacturers to come up with content video that is really hands-on, stuff that your technicians and your salespeople need to see. Might help them get make better sales and do better installs. So check a look at that. CanadianMobileAudio.com/workshops is where you find out more info. On that note, reminding you to tune in Wednesday evening. We've got a special round table. Instead of the traditional format, we're doing a round table about remote start. We've got Joe Dentamaro and Al Fontaine, both from Vox Electronics. We've got JP Raymond from Fortin, which will be there. And of course, we even have Rob Nelson from Automobility, who'll be joining us. My co-host and guest will also be Jeff Bates from Lockdown to give some retailer perspective. You don't want to miss that. That's 8 p.m. Eastern this Wednesday night. Learn, find out what's going on with the remote car starter industry. There's a lot of stuff at play and stuff you need to know from a dealer standpoint. That's enough talking for me. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to another episode of CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.